Hey guys, and welcome back to the To Be Happy podcast, or the What I've Prayed For podcast, whatever you want to call it. I am so excited that we are going to have this conversation today and that I was able to finally make one of these. Oh my gosh, guys, I cannot tell you how busy I've been and how crazy I'm sure that you already know, but it has been a day, let me tell you. So, basically what has transpired in the past, whatever, is now most people are like in quarantine, I guess you could say, because we aren't allowed to kind of like gather in more groups than 10 and all the different things like that. So it's getting kind of hectic, and people are definitely taking it hard, like hitting that stuff hard. And it has been taking a toll on my mental status, kind of pretty much everything about my life, especially my mental status. So it's been especially important for me to work out, to drink water, work out, get all that stuff done. That's basically like primarily like what I've been focusing on, is just my health and my mental status and my relationships. Relationships are so important, guys. Like, I cannot stress that enough, especially in times like this. Relationships are important because think about it. You're like stuck with this person. Like, let's say you're quarantined. I mean, I'm not, but let's say you're like self-quarantining, or you're out of the job, or different things like that. You're stuck with this person for like multiple days on end. And that's hard if you have a bad relationship. That's really hard. That's hard even if you it's hard to live with yourself. Your own relationship with yourself is hard. Like, sometimes I sit and have negative thoughts about myself all day. And now that we're all like pretty much stuck in like our homes, it's hard to kind of deal with those feelings. Like, writing those feelings, talking about those feelings, and really like diving deep is hard. And then people that come to the grocery store, they carry that ick with them, and then they throw it on me or throw it on whoever's working. And then it's just crazy. Like, it's just like a crazy thing to think that the world, it's just so bizarre, the world that we're living in. Like, if people could sum up what's happening in one word, I think it would honestly just be like speechless. Like, we have no words at all to describe what is happening. There's nothing in this world that anyone has really ever kind of like gone through or ever dealt with like this before. And it's literally the weirdest thing ever, is all I have to say. Like, it is wild. And I do think that in this time, we really need to press on to the fact that our relationships are so important, and focusing on that. Work, if you are working, is going to be hard. I know I have some HEB people listening to this. It's freaking hard. It's hard, man. Even if people are nice, the compliments that we receive are so helpful, but those 3 or 4 comments that people are just being butts about is really hard to deal with. It really gets to me sometimes. And sometimes I just go home and I sit and I literally stare at a wall for probably 30 minutes, not even gonna lie. I waste a lot of time just kind of debriefing, is that even the right word, from the day, because it's just what the hell just happened? What did I just witness? What? Why did he even comment about that? Why is he so upset about that? And people nitpicking at every little thing that you're doing. And then it's hard, especially for those managers that are out there, because, man, we don't know what to do either. And people are looking to us for guidance, for respect. Any type of leader, basically, in any role in this time period, even if you're a parent, you are a leader to your children. You are a leader to your community, to your family. You are a leader no matter what. And it's so hard to deal with this, because whenever people ask you for questions, ask you for guidance, you don't have the answer because no one has ever been through this. And I think we fear so much of the unknown. I know I've touched on this before in like a past podcast, but we fear so much of the unknown, so much. And it's completely like it's okay to feel those feelings, because I mean, who the hell knew this was going to happen? No one. Who could plan for this? No one. Like, I mean, it's just hard. It's really hard. And to those who are working at home, like, you're so lucky. You're so blessed. That is honestly like what I wish I could do, is just like work from home. Especially during this time, because like, I mean, I am getting subjected to so many not diseases, but so many illnesses and people and overcrowd. It's just, ew. If I could see the amount of germs that I'm probably collecting throughout the day, I think I would just freak out. Which is probably why God allowed us not to be able to see it with our naked eye. Anyways, but yeah, so I just wanted to put this out there really fast. I am so extremely thankful that you guys are listening, that I have this like little like platform to talk to you. And I just wanted to update you on how many people are part of our Facebook page, because I know that it's like growing every day, and I'm just like beyond amazed. There are 97 people. What in the world? That is crazy. But yeah, so this is honestly just kind of like, I'm not at all knowing what I'm doing. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a special like guru on anything. I'm just a normal person that's trying to be the healthiest person that they can be. And during this time, it's very difficult to be the best person that we can be. It is very depressing to sit at home all day and not get out, especially for extroverts? Is that even the right word? Extroverts? Because introverts, like, which is me, love being at home and like love being in like their little cocoon and not leaving for the whole day. But those people that don't, it's got to be really challenging on them, like super challenging on them. It's got to be challenging for the people that have lost their job. It's got to be challenging for the people that have only been able to work sporadically. It's got to be difficult for the people who don't know where their next paycheck is going to come from. And the fear of not knowing if you're going to have a job the next day is something I honestly don't know the feeling of. And I cannot imagine what anyone has gone through with that. I think that in this time and in this place, that we just need to sit and become vessels. Become vessels to be a leader, vessels to show others the light in the darkness, to be vessels of where we are going and how we can strengthen our minds, our bodies, and our souls, to strengthen our diligence, to strengthen our bodies, to strengthen our health, to strengthen our mental toughness in difficult times. To strengthen our compassion. Because this quarantine, this situation is definitely not about us. It's about everyone else. And we need to acknowledge that. We need to appreciate that. And we need to work through that. And I'm going to be sending you guys out an email of a workbook, not a workbook, but I'm calling it a workbook because basically what you do is like helping you get your morning devotional kind of ready. Not morning devotional, but your morning quiet time. Mine is a prayer time and devotional time, but if you don't believe, this is your quiet time. This is the time where you can sit and you can write things down. And I included, before even all of this happened, fears for the day. Because even if it was a perfect day, that doesn't mean that we don't have fears, especially us with anxiety. I'm raising my hand if you can't tell, because I suffer from anxiety a lot, and it has been seriously triggered during this whole time. And I don't know if other people can even relate to this, but I feel such pressure on my heart and in my soul. I feel like sometimes I can't even breathe whenever I walk into work or whenever I see something on the internet, because it pains my heart to know that people are suffering, or people are being selfish, or that people just don't care, or that people look to me for direction and I don't have it. To not have the answers pains my heart, and it causes anxiety and it causes stress. And that's something I've learned to work through. And I think it was given to me, this issue of anxiety right now, so that way I can learn as much as I can about myself and what triggers me to have anxiety, and how I can still work through it, and how I can have that mental toughness to continue on. Now, if you truly have like serious anxiety and you need medication, make sure that you get your medications. So that way, or if you know an older couple that has medications, make sure you go get that for them. That's just a side note. But I'm just saying, like, this is a crazy hard time, and anxiety is definitely something that is happening and people are dealing with. And writing down your fears, I write down 3 fears every day. I write mine to God, but you can just write them down on a piece of paper. It's your option. But I write them down, and I literally sit there and meditate and pray on them, because they're legitimate fears to me. They're legitimately making me scared, even if it's not something that I should worry about. Because to me, it's real. To me, it's a serious fear. To others, to the world, to maybe even one of my closest friends might not have that same feeling and might not have those same fears, and that's okay. But it's something that I have to work through. Whenever you struggle with anxiety, whenever you struggle with stress, you need to realize that there are some things that are in and out of your control, and you need to write those down, like what's in your control and what's not. And then you need to write down your fears of why, what's out of your, like whenever you notice it's something that's out of your control, why does it freak you out? Why does it scare you? Why are you worried about these things if it's out of your control? And you can write those down. And then what I would also do, which has helped me a lot, I don't know if anyone does this, but whenever I make that little T-chart, I write down my fears and the reasons why I am afraid of them, and the things that I cannot control column. And then on the other side, whenever I can control it, I write actions to make that a reality. So that way I am defeating the fear and I'm conquering the fear. This might help you throughout your day. This might help you whenever you're working from home, like blocking out your time and stuff. Creating a schedule is super important. I use a planner all the time. I'm like a planner freak. I love new planners in general. Like, they're amazing. I love them. Anyways, you need to make sure that you're organized if you're working from home, or even if you're not, blocking out your time, creating time blocks, working on yourself, working on your body, working on your relationships. Write down everything that you need to get done throughout that day, and then create little time frames for each one, so that way you stay on task. Because whenever you're like actually like going into a job and you're working, it's easier to time block it out, because then you can just basically like walk into work, do what you have to do, come home, do the things you have to do, and then do all like, make dinner, do all that, those types of things. It's a lot easier. But whenever you don't have that guidance and you don't have that structure, you have to create that structure. And I think that's what a lot of us have to actually come to the realization of in this time period, is creating that structure. Creating that structure for us, for our bodies, for our minds, our souls. We have to be disciplined. And we have to be disciplined in every area. And I say that because this is a very critical time for everyone. And we have to make sure, again, that it's not about us, but it's of everyone else. I just wanted to put that out there. And if you haven't received an email from me getting your kit and buying your kit, please let me know. I have sent out pretty much all of them to everyone, I think. And that's really going to help you with this program that I'm starting. To Be Happy is a fitness and workout program where I talk a lot about mental health, physical health, and all of that. So I'm just saying that it's really important to make sure that we are sending out good vibes and good prayers to everyone, that every single person that's in this situation, even if it's not, even like it's not the same as your own, and it doesn't seem that difficult to you, it might be difficult to that person, and having, is it sympathy or empathy? One of those? Where you care about that person. I believe it's sympathy for that person, and really trying to work on yourself and your relationships during this time can really help reduce the anxiety and the stress. So I'm going to be sending out that workbook to you guys, and if you haven't already bought your kit, please do so, and then we can continue on. So thank you so much, guys. I hope this helped. I will talk to you in my next podcast. Bye.